Hello and welcome to my show Indus Cuisine, and I'm your chef Basim Akhund. We're back with another new episode with the exciting, delicious recipe from the heart of Sindh. Pakistan, as you know, is divided between 4 provinces. Sindh being the coastal province where there's a lot of sea. Balochistan also has a lot of coast. So usually whenever you talk about seafood, it's either from Sindh or Balochistan. Then Punjab and KPK, also known as Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. KPK is usually meat dominated. Usually all the recipes over there consist of a lot of meat. Punjab has a lot of vegetables, poultry, meat and seafood. But when we talk about seafood over there, the only fish which is commonly used over there is a river fish. And when we talk about Sindh, in Sindh we have a lot of seafood in the actual terms, by which I mean you have a lot of fish that comes from the sea, not from the fresh water. You have a lot of prawns, crabs, you name it. Actually, Pakistan is one of those countries in the world that exports a lot of high-grade, grade A quality of seafood abroad. So today's recipe is from the heart of Sindh and from the coastal areas of Sindh, and the recipe's name is green fish curry. So the history behind this recipe is very interesting. Muhammad bin Qasim was a conqueror from the Muslim Empire. He came to the province of Sindh. Back in those days, Sindh had a lot of Hindus and Buddhists over here, and Muslims were rarely found over here. So the Hindus in that time never used to consume a lot of animal meat and also seafood. So when Muhammad bin Qasim conquered this area and the Muslim influence grew, families in those days started consuming seafood as a part of their diet. Even in current day, meat from the animal cow is considered non-edible due to religious reasons in the Hinduism religion. So now today's recipe has really interesting ingredients. It's all green over here because this recipe is green Sindhi fish curry. Basically, the curry's color comes from all the greens we're using over here. So you need some onion. I'll just use one onion. I'll finely chop it. Then you need some spring onions. I'll use the green part of it. You need some mint, coriander. You need around 6 to 7 green chilies. If you want to avoid spice, so you can take out the seeds from the green chili, which actually hold most of the spice. Then you need salt to taste. I'll use around 1.5 to 2 teaspoons in the whole recipe. You need some turmeric. I'll use some cardamom, the small ones, some garlic, some ginger, and you need some cumin powder, freshly ground would be much better. Oil around 6 to 8 tablespoons maximum, and then some lemon juice. So this recipe will be made in 3 parts. So the first part is we'll be using fish. So if you're a country or a city by the coast, by the sea, it's better you use sea fish, right? And if you're a country or a city that is landlocked, you don't have a lot of fresh seafood access, then you can use frozen seafood, or if you have rivers over there, so you can use a river fish also. So today's recipe, we're using the fish called becket. It's a local fish in the Arabian Sea. It's enjoyed by the masses in Pakistan, and because now the cold chains are really good, so provinces which do not have the access to sea water also have fresh seafood now. So we're using this fish today. I'm going to cut it in front of you. I'm going to make it into pieces, and I'm going to tell you how to cure it. Usually what people think is that seafood starts, smelling. You do not want the seafood to smell. Obviously, who wants their food to smell? So what we'll do is we'll cure it with 2 things. With ice cold water, what happens is when you dip the pieces of fish in ice cold water, it starts giving out all the blood, and this fish gets really clean and the smell gets out. Basically what happens is the blood in the fish is the reason why the recipe smells. So whenever you're eating a seafood recipe in a restaurant, in a very good restaurant, what happens is they cure the fish before they cook it. So you'll never smell a fish. You won't see a smelly fish in a restaurant. And then I'll cure it with some lemon and I'll put it aside. So first of all, I'll take this fish. The only thing I've done is I've scaled it and I've taken the fins off and the gills out. Whenever you're using seafood, always use a different board. Okay, so there are different types of knives I'm using today. So this is the seafood knife. So I won't need the head. Some people do use the head, but what we'll do is you'll feel it over here. Wherever you feel the meat, start cutting it. Turn the fish. Likewise, you see that's the meat, that's the head, cut it. So now what I'll do is I'll take the head off from the fish. See, I took it from the bone, just pull it and cut it a bit more. Okay, now this is the tough part. You take this knife and just go easy on it. Okay, this is done. I'll keep it for you over here. It can look at you. Now, as you see, the fish is ready to get into pieces. First of all, start from the tail. Around 1.5 inch apart, I'll make cuts. And try pushing the knife as deep as it can go. This is done. Now, do not mix this knife. Now what you need to do is do not start hammering it. Take a cloth. This cloth is a little wet purposely. Why? Because it won't slip then. So I'll keep it over here. And then just smack it. Again, keep the cloth, smack it. Just repeat this and you'll get clean cuts and you won't damage the flesh of the fish. This is done. I'll keep the cloth on the side for a second. Now as you can see, I've cut through the bone over here. That's what I wanted. Now you'll take that knife again and start cutting through the flesh. Now as you see, this is the biggest piece. I'll keep it over here. Then the other piece. So slowly and gradually, you'll cut it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 pieces. So you can consider both of these pieces as one and then the others. What you need to do is take some thick tissue paper, dry the fish as much as you can right now. Pat it. And then just throw this on the side. Now what you need is some ice. Okay. What you'll do is you'll give it an ice bath. So I'll keep this over here. I'll take the big bowl. I'll put it over here. Add the ice. Add water to it. Done. And then leave the fish in the ice cold water for around 5 minutes. You need to submerge the fish completely, please remember that, and add some more ice on the top. Now this is done. Keep it on the counter on the side, somewhere over here, and first of all, let these go. You don't need them right now. And switch the board. This board goes away. And now what you need is, you need another fresh board. So I'll use a green board now. Okay, and you might be thinking, why have I kept a piece of tissue paper over here? If you keep a tissue paper over here and you damp it with some water, what will happen is your board won't slip. See, it's not slipping now. If the tissue paper isn't there, or if you haven't kept a cloth underneath your board, the board's going to be everywhere, so you don't want that. Okay, now we get back to cooking. So when the fish is going to be in the ice water for 5 minutes, after that we'll start curing it again. But before that, we should prepare some things. Fine. So what we'll do is we'll take a grater. I'll take the smoother side, the smaller side, and I'll start grating the ginger. Now the ginger on the other side will be coming out as a paste. Be a bit slow with this, don't be too fast. Why? Because if your hand slips on the grater, God, it's going to hurt. Okay, this part goes in the dustbin and just shake it out. So we have the ginger. Now we need garlic. Around 4 big cloves would do. So these cloves have the peel on them. What I'll do is I'll peel them first and then I'll grate them. So the easiest part is take the root out. Once the root goes away, the garlic peel is going to start falling apart. See, it comes out smoothly. So take your knife and just smoothly, as you can see, peel it. This goes away. Keep cleaning as you go. Why? Because if you keep cleaning, the station is going to be clean. Now, yet again, use the same part, slowly and gradually grate it. Now, what we're doing is we're making a form of a rough paste, what we'll mix and then add to the recipe later. So this is the second step, to grate things and go with it. Now, this part of the garlic goes away again in the dustbin and just tap it a bit. So now we have grated ginger, grated garlic. What we need now is some green chilies. I'll finely chop the green chilies. I'll take 4 because they're around medium sized. So first of all, take the part off, the top part off, keep it on the side. And now finely chop them. Turn it around. It's going to take some time, but this is how it's done. Always fold whatever you're chopping to get a closer mince. We're basically mincing it through hand. And as you can see, there's this finely chopped green chili. Okay. Now what you need is you need some coriander. Finely chop this also. Always remember, when you take it, spin it around, fold it, spin it around again, and then keep it. What will happen is you'll get a better grip. Closely, very finely start chopping it. Gets like this nice texture where it's like properly cut. If you see a stem which isn't getting chopped, take it out. Spin it again. And now you have the second green ready, which I'll keep over here. So now done. Now what you need is you need some mint leaves. Now the mint leaves, you need to again press them together and push your knife forward. The smell is beautiful because when all these things are going to combine, you'll get this nice aroma that will actually get incorporated with your fish, and trust me. Okay, this is done. Mint takes less time. The mint goes over here. And now we need some spring onions. Now as you see, you can see these bulbs with the roots. You push it, make them equal, and what you'll do is you won't take this part. So you first of all pass your knife through, let these babies go in the dustbin because you don't use them, and now you finally chop the springs. Okay, so what you need to do is keep it close, as close as you can go. And that's more than enough. This part goes in the dustbin back. Clean your knife, push it back, and now you need to mix it up. Take this for mixing right now. So first goes the green chili, then you go with the garlic, then the ginger, coriander, the mint leaves, and then you go with the onions, basically the spring onions. Add some salt, around 2 pinches, and mix it up. And mix it. So what happens? Why did I add salt right now? When you add salt to any ingredient, what happens is it brings out the moisture. When all the ingredients are mixed together and there is salt in it, the moisture that will come out will amalgamate all the flavors together, and that's what I want. So as you can see, the ginger and the garlic is mixing properly, and we keep this mixture on the side. So now we need to give the fish a few more minutes, and till the time we give that time to the fish and we let the greens on the side, we'll go for a short break, we'll come back, and then we'll start cooking. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Indus Cuisine. Welcome back. You're watching Indus Cuisine and I'm your chef Basim Akhund. So now what you need is you need 1 onion. Keep it over here and take the root out a bit. Remember, take the upper part out a bit. Cut it through like this and cut it through like this again. Now just take the first top peel out, and all this goes into the bin. Okay, throw this. Now I need some water to wash the onion. Dunzo. Goes back on the board. See, as you can see, the root's still there. Make the cuts, as I've always told you, as close as possible. Don't go too fast. If you go too fast, you can cut your hand. Finally chop it. This goes on the side. Okay, so now everything's ready. I need to switch the boards now. Firstly, you can see the fish has changed color a bit. Why? Because it's like in ice cold water, and all the blood or whatever the veins had in it, it's all in the water. You can see all the impurities over here, they're out. You don't need this anymore. Keep it on the side. And now pat it dry completely. Why? I'll tell you. So I'm using the tissue paper as base. Why? Because I don't want the whole place to be dripping with fishy water. And then the last 2 small pieces. Now what you need to do is take a clean plate. I need a lemon. I'll take 2. Keep it on the side. I'll cut it and then squeeze it in it. You need all the lemon water over here. So try keeping your hand, if it's clean. What will happen is you'll get the lemon juice, but the seeds are going to stay on the side. You can see the pits over here. You don't want these. Done. Wash your hands once. Dry them. And now put the fish in the lemon water, but some salt goes in it. Move it around. Now see, this is the piece. I'm just turning it around and keeping it on side, okay? You have to coat all the 4 sides of the pieces. And then the last piece. Now this is done. I'll keep it on the side in front of you. If you have time, let this be in the fridge for around 30 minutes, but if you do not have 30 minutes, you can go with it quickly. Keep this on the side. Okay, now we get back to the main part, the cooking. We'll take back the green board and we'll quickly cook. Okay, the pan goes on full heat. Firstly, we add some oil, around 6 tablespoons or 8 tablespoons. If you want to add 2 more, if you don't have a non-stick pan, or if your pan sticks a lot, that's what you can do. Now, the pan was already a bit hot because I kept it on like really low heat, which we call the pilot. Okay, reduce the heat to medium. Now, the first thing that goes in are the onions. Why? Because the onions go first, they get really soft, and all the other ingredients follow them. Add a pinch of salt so that the moisture from the onion comes out. Give it around 1 minute maximum. It's been like 40 seconds now. Okay, now I'll take the cardamom. Let's move this on the side so that you can see what I'm doing. Just place the cardamom, put the knife, and boom, you go. So what will happen is the seeds will get exposed, they'll squeeze out, and you're going to add them to the onion. Mix it, take it off the stove, keep moving it, and back it goes. Okay, now what you need to do is you need to add the first spice. Reduce the heat to low. I don't want the onions to go completely brown. First goes the cumin, then goes the turmeric. These are the only 2 spices we're using. Mix it. And now you will add the greens. So take a spatula, push it forward, and here we go. Keep this on the side. Mix it. Now add salt, around 1 teaspoon. This is around 1.5 teaspoon, I can tell. So I'll keep this on the side for later if I need it, because I'll keep tasting it. Mix it. As you can see, what I'm doing is, this is the spatula. It's curved, so I'm pressing it as we go so that the flavors start amalgamating and the flavors start squeezing out. I don't need this, so I'll keep it over here. Now what you need to do is, we will add the fish, but before that, add around 1 cup of water. Right now 1 cup, then we'll add some more. Increase the heat to full, mix it. Now the water is boiling. What you need to do is take the fish, reduce the heat to medium just to save yourself, place it in. Do not use the lemon, throw it away. And move it. Keep it on high heat right now. And then flip the pieces. I'm kind of searing the meat as we go. Now once you've turned it, do not play with the fish. The more you move the fish, the more likely it is to start breaking, because fish is a very delicate form of meat. Add 2 cups of water. Do not submerge it. So now you have to give a lid, which is over here, and leave it for 10 minutes, okay? So reduce the heat to medium low and let it cook. So till the time this is cooking, what we'll do is we'll clean up. So the recipe is ready. I'll switch off the heat and you'll see within like 10 minutes the fish is like falling apart. It's so delicious, so tasty, and it was really quick. So now I'll dish it out. What I'll do is I'll pick this up, keep it over here first. So first what you need to do is take the pieces of fish out. Slowly and gradually put them here. And the recipe for today is ready. Just add some green chilies on top. Just take some fresh coriander and put it on the side. As you can see, the fish is falling apart. It's completely ready, it's delicious. Try it, you will love it. Keep the knife back. I hope you liked today's episode. It was a quick and easy recipe with all the fresh things you can get from the closest store. I'll see you in another episode of Indus Cuisine. Keep cooking and keep watching my show. Take care.